rolling a d4, and I got Steve. Steve, what happened last time?
Last time? Oh goodness, what did happen last time? We had made our way down to... oh goodness, we were searching... I got my notes. Searching deeper with a bunch of those warrior maidens, discovered that we had actually gone in a circle and found our way back at the entrance that we thought we had lost forever. We had traveled with the warrior maidens, who were apparently really good at their job. Who emptied, what was it, 2 rooms of followers of Dorn. And then we got so laden with swag that we're like, we need to go. So now we were making our way back to sell our goods and loot.
Yep, that's I concur with all of that. But before you can sell your loot, there is the matter of making it back. So, here you are. I have that the last place you were was in a long hallway, and I screwed up this navigation, so I'll give it to you. Give it from here. The part that I screwed up, I'll give you here. A long hallway, and if you're facing the hallway from the door, to your right there's this statue, of like a muscular dude. And then to your left, the hallway continues down into the darkness. Part of the way down that hallway, probably 40 feet into the darkness, 30, 40 feet, you see a corridor to the left. That's if you're facing the hallway to the east, okay? Behind you, if you're facing the hallway to the west, is a room that currently is piled up with bodies. 20 bodies. And there's a mattress, straw and dirt-filled sack of a mattress that's used to cover a hole in the floor where there's some stairs. And then there is let's see, you close the door after that. Yeah, so that's what you see. And now, if you go down this hallway, and you take that left that you see halfway down the hallway in the dark, it will go directly into the room with the brass tubes that you came down. So, that's the part that I'll give you. What do you all think?
We should go that way, right?
I mean, I believe the plan is to escape at this point and then come back later, right?
Yeah, and that's the way out, right? Where we found the tubes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I just realized that we didn't think about last time? We haven't rescued Joel's character.
Oh yeah.
So we spent 15 or 20 minutes of the last session planning what to do without him when we got back this week.
I think we've safely assumed he's dead.
We're just gonna come around a corner, and he's just gonna be right there. What happened?
He's gonna be like covered in fucking
Figured it
blood and like wearing a crown and like a whole bunch of bling hanging from his neck.
Spit
That's the other safe
some
assumption.
dirt and fur out of his mouth. You don't want to know. You don't know. You don't want to know what's over there.
His
Just like,
teeth?
I don't know where they took me, but I'm their king now.
Yeah, Joel's character. Yeah, we just won't talk about that right now. Bungo. I'm sure it's fun. Anyways,
That was a Sean thought, not a Chimera thought, just to
right.
be clear.
Does anyone have a torch lit? Because I think someone was talking about having a torch lit. One person has Shay has an oil lantern, but then somebody else is like, well, I light a torch.
Well,
too.
I also lit an oil lantern out of spite because he was talking about feeling special because he had a lantern.
Oh, I have that. I see that now. Gotcha.
Oh.
Okay. No facts.
It's an actual note.
I've got a lantern. I've just been hiding it in case anybody, notices if we run out. So I've got
Well,
a
and I
lantern
only
and
felt-
one flask of oil. So
I only felt cocky enough to use mine because I didn't have to use a flask of oil. I filled it up wherever we got oil. I think from bugs, I filled it up.
All right. So you all spend
Perfectly good bug oil.
10 minutes just collecting yourselves, saying like, "What about Bungo?" And everybody's just like,
Bungo's dead, baby.
He's either dead or we'll get him when we come back.
I mean, in true Hobbit fashion, he's gonna show up and have the ring that destroys the world or something.
All
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And then
He'll
the
turn
group,
up. He always does.
the group
If he
left
doesn't,
their
I don't
small
think he had
child
that
in the
much
grocery
money on him
store.
Anyway.
All right.
I
so,
mean, he's not a small child. He's a small grown-up.
yes, he's actually older than everybody here, I think. But, anyways, okay. So you proceed down the corridor, and let's see. You're approaching the corridor on the left, and you can see in the light the corridor continues down to the end, where it looks like there's some markings on the wall at the end of the in the darkness. You don't seem to see any doors or pathways at the end. It continues down about another 40 or 50 feet. And then the corridor turns left, like I'd said, and just to give this to you because I messed it up last time. At this point, if you continue straight about 30 feet, you go in, you enter the room with the brass tubes. There is a door to your right down this hallway, facing west. So there's a door to the north in the hallway and a door to the south.
So if we talk to the tubes, we decided, do they think we're gods if we do that?
I mean, the last time we did that, we saved Bungo's life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could probably be like, hey, return unto me the small chosen one in the main chamber where you found him.
Yeah. And maybe tell them don't go a certain place where we have our stuff stashed just in case. I don't know.
I don't think we can use it to communicate with anyone directly unless they're in the sort of adjoining room, right? But it does create a lot of noise that can attract something.
Yeah, like
And-
it summoned the not bee people pretending to be bee people before, so like, I assume they can hear it in other places.
It could
Yeah.
attract them. It could also attract things with more legs than they have.
Or people who hate the particular god we
Well,
talked to
and
the
then
tube for. So
I believe
that's-
we moved against stashing our loot, and we're just gonna go back to town to get like a safe deposit box because
That's right.
if we stashed it, we had to make multiple trips anyway.
And there's the chance of somebody taking it. So yeah, let's do the prudent
Yeah,
thing
our
and be
golden
cowards.
statue
right?
man isn't going anywhere. So
All right.
See, you say that, and now I'm almost certain that some horrible force in the universe is going to tell us that it is, like walking around coming after us at some point.
that's acceptable. I don't know how much experience you have transporting golden statue men, but it's a lot. It's really convenient when they transport themselves.
True. Less so when they're feeling homicidal about it, though.
All right. So you go down the corridor. It's about 30 feet to the west, and you and you find the door is closed. Lord. Opening the door. Goodness. My global volume just like shot up for some reason. I don't understand.
Yeah, I did hear stuff happen on your end. I was just like, that wasn't through my headset.
I'm gonna try to like adjust the global volume control so it doesn't do that. I have something where it reverts. Anyways, you push open the door, and there's this about 40 to 50 feet square room with a door on the northeast and northwest, or I'm sorry, the northeast corner on both ends, to the northeast and southeast. Sorry. There are these creatures. One of them is just a smoldering ruin, and another one is just up on its back, on a carapace. It's spinely, 2 little legs sticking up in the air oddly. Something glowing on its mouth. And then there's a bunch of odd piles of metal pipes and boxes and strange objects of metal piled in a corner here. And then 3 big brass tubes with ladders. And then something else happens. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Oh, there's an a long pause, and oh goodness sounds
When
ominous.
you open
Pretty
the door,
ominous.
when you open the door, there are 5 people in here. Sorting through the metal pieces and looking at the bodies of the bugs. They look at you all, and they have various animal masks on. And they got a lot of rolling to do for this. They're like, disgusting creature, disgusting! And they point spears at you, and they all back up, and they all like get their spears out, and they point it towards you. Horrible creatures.
Shah kind of goes, whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down, my friends. We are not creatures.
It talks. It talks. They've started to talk. What's your charisma modifier?
If we can talk, it's rude to stab us.
Super high. 9.
That's a
Ooh,
general
I need to do
thumb.
more talking. I think I got the highest charisma.
A 9. Okay, yeah, they okay, yeah, what is yours? Yeah.
Mine's 13, so I have a +1.
+1. Okay.
That is the highest charisma in the group, I'm certain.
Everyone loves rat pipe.
They look really uncertain, and they start to back away into a adjoining room to the northeast. And they're like, so many legs, so many legs. It has 2 forms. It has 6 legs. It has 6 legs.
Ratpipe looks down at his legs. Like, got just 2, right? Okay.
Yeah, as you're saying that, then the last one is like pointing his spear, and he looks at everyone else that's left him, and he like turns around and runs down the hall. And they, that's it. And they run down the hall, and then the door closes behind them.
Another great victory.
What in the...
I just
Okay,
kind of
then.
looks at everybody and goes, huh.
You might got any ideas what that was about? 'Cause did they leave anything? So they were sorting around in the dead bugs.
Yeah. Excuse me.
That was weird. Scavenge time.
It will take you 10 minutes to scavenge through the stuff if you want to search it.
Kind of my thing. I think anybody else is in a hurry.
I don't have anywhere to be.
I just want
Gold!
to. Excuse me. I just want to make sure I understand. You all did not take anything from this room last time, right?
Correct. We were rushed through it
Okay.
by the bee-headed people.
In the 10 minutes that you take in the dark under a lantern light to try to search through and move metal stuff without causing too much of a ruckus and not get hurt, and everything, and check watching the door and stuff, you find that there are pots, several large covered clay pots, and when you gently look at them, it looks like they hold oil, although most of it has evaporated over the centuries. Some of the pots were sealed. And if you take 20 minutes, you're confident that you could recover 6 flasks of oil. I have something to say about that. They will be of poor quality, so they'll burn in an odd way. But they are oil. And you also find a corner where there's a small foundry of various things used for a forge. And the iron implements are kept in pretty good repair, including an anvil, tongs, and 3 iron hammers. And I forgot to mention, did someone get, I think I'm going to do 20 items. So, because I didn't mention this, and I'm not going to start counting coin weight. But what's going to happen is, if you load up and you've got more than, not bundles of items, so 20 arrows, 6 torches, I think 7 days of rations, that's a bundle. But if you've got more than 10 items, you can carry more. But if you say, let's say that you carry 5 flasks of oil, a thing of rope, a quiver of arrows, 7 rations, a thing of water skin, and and a weapon. Now you have 10 items. If you go over that, you're with treasure. I'll adjust that based on your strength modifier.
I mean, that's kind of a really fundamental change this late in, just because I think I started with more than 10 items.
I know, and it's okay. So you're okay right now. You're not all of a sudden Skyrim encumbered or something. You're fine. But the point of that is that you can't just like say, I'm going to buy 50 things of oil flasks and I'm going to go in the dungeon. Like, no, you got to pick. Like, you got to pick what you're going to carry. Or you can go into the dungeon, dump things, cache things, but you have to figure out how you're going to do that. You can't just carry a whole load of stuff and bring treasure out too. Or you have to get a spell for it. There's a spell for that.
For now, I'm just focused on escaping this place so we can actually make use of this treasure. Otherwise, it's utterly worthless until somebody finds our bodies.
Yeah. So, what do you all, do you want to try to recover the oil from the sealed pots? It'll take 20 minutes to do it. You'll get 6 flasks of poor quality oil. Basically, it will make a strange effect if you burn it for light, but you can use it as a weapon normally. But it'll take 20 minutes. Or you can take the weapons, or not weapons, but the forge implements.
I don't know how
Particularly
anybody.
worried ab- Sorry, what?
Well, does anybody know how to forge weapons? Nobody. Or do we have pick? I can't remember how that works, but I would know as a simple tosher. I would, I'm just picking stuff out of sewers. That's all I know.
what are we gonna do, Basha? Are we gonna try to obtain the oils that have been kept here, or or
We should.
oh, go ahead.
I think we should move on. We can get the rest of this stuff if it's of much value later, but I don't think we even have any flasks for oil. All been
I don't have any
all been
spare
burned.
flasks.
I believe that is an accurate statement.
Good point.
That is a good point. Very well. You'd have to dump out water or something else, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. So, what do you do? Do you head up the brass tubes, or follow the people that think you're some kind of monster? Or there's a door to the northeast, to the southeast, and the door you came in through to the east.
Moving
then
on up.
Yeah, we should probably go on up.
All right. All right. You, which brass tube do you climb up? There's a
The
three.
middle one.
Come down.
The one
I
you
think
came
it was the
down.
middle one we came. Yeah. I think.
That
Been
sounds
wrong
right.
before.
Was each one assigned to basically associated with a different god if we go all the way up? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
that
show
is.
some perfect was.
Usumagaris was in the middle, maybe? That
I think he was on the right.
If you're looking at the doors, the male one is the third one on the right. And I'm going to go with that one because I am currently dressed in his people's garb.
You're gonna do the one on the right.
Yes, that should be the Gorm one. Wait, Gorm was the lightning bolt guy.
yeah.
I would like to
That's
follow
the one on the
her
right.
if she survives.
Yeah, the snake baby is the left, the woman is the middle, and Gorm is the right. And I'm dressed in that one as a disguise, so I'm going up Gorm's on the right. As quietly as possible.
All right. All right. You clunk, clunk, like slowly go up the brass tube. You make your way up, 20 feet up, and you can see that the tubing continues up the top, where you can see mechanisms in the lantern light, where Shay is holding his lantern and making his way up the ladder. But halfway up, about 20 feet up, you see the outlines of the hinged door.
I'm going to attempt to quietly open it from the inside.
All right, you open the brass door, and I assume you got to get the lantern so you can see what's going on, or at least get it closer. And you look out, and you can see the 40 by 40 foot so room that you came in, and you see the hallway that you stood in while the bee people came out with Bungo, and you look out, and as soon as you open the door, you can see the three brass tubes next to you. And as you look down, like the stone floor flips down, the tile flips down into a hole as you open the door. So you open the door, and down below you, the floor flips out.
I hate that one.
I mean, like, if I were opening it from the side of the door that requires me to stand on a floor, that would be bad, yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing happens. I'm just letting you know that happens.
Okay. I was like,
There
then
wasn't-
what?
I mean, you don't
Um,
jump out, you're okay, right?
I mean, can I jump from the ladder to part of the floor that's
Sure.
not flipped?
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that is that's a mechanism that's happening while you do it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to jump over the hole.
Okay, no problem. You do that.
And then I know that the doors for the tubes were facing the door we came in from the entrance, so I'm gonna head to what I know to be the exit.
You head to the exit, and you can see if you take somebody's. No, you have a lantern lit. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the corridor and the exit leave the room in about a 10-foot wide corridor, about 30 feet, and then 90 degrees to the right, where you can see. Hey, Joel, and you can see the strange light, twilight of an overcast sky coming in, and dust and sand and wind, and you can feel it. And you see a hobbit on his haunches, weeping, picking at some growth of mushrooms. So he's made it back to the entrance and has been trying to find some sort of mushroom life or something to poke at this whole time, and has left you all. Bungo has not found anything other than mushrooms. Not found any of his green grass.
I hightail it back down the tube. No, I'm kidding.
It is a sad day for a hobbit. Green grass.
Yeah, Bungo's. It's not like whimpering. It's not like sad cry. It's all out. I think the Bible would describe it as wailing and gnashing of teeth. It's deeply, deeply, deeply upset.
This is a serious project for Bungo.
I turn my head, and just over my shoulder I call back, "Hey guys, remember that thing we were worried about? We don't gotta be worried about that." And
The
then
golden statue isn't coming after us?
No, the other thing. The golden statue might still be coming after us, but the other thing we're worried about.
We don't have to worry about the centipedes?
The midget.
Oh.
And then I leave the pyramid. Just walk right out.
All right, you walk out into obscured, burning sun and an overcast sky of sand that buffets the air, and you can see facing away from with the step pyramid behind you, the sand-covered ruins of the city that was once the great city of the Synodikians, and the direction you came in. And it has been, let's see, you rested here for 8 hours. So 18, 19, 20. I'm just doing my own math here.
You're never supposed to get high on your own supply.
Okay, and I will not tell you how long it's been, but I know how long it's been. Okay, and you make it back out and find Bungo, and you take a moment to rest and gather your things. And Bungo, you notice, since you've come back up, at one point you got lost, basically is what happened. But you can see in the dark, so it's pretty handy. And it takes you a while, and you hear all sorts of strange noises, including some screams. But you eventually found a set of stairs. You made it up the stairs, you made it in a corridor, and you found the brass tubes. You had to sneak back past some people. At one point, something in the dark was chasing you, but you made it up to the top of the brass tubes where you only hoped that your friends might be, but surely there would be some greener grass here, and yet you find none. And so you've been poking at the mushrooms and what you can find in the ecology here, and there's nothing to be found. And your friends show up, and they have sacks. You guys purchased sacks, right? You got sacks and backpacks.
Yeah, I got a few too.
Yeah, so you notice, Bungo, that their backpacks and their sacks are like filled with stuff.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Bungo runs up and he says, "Fellas, oh my God. Oh, sweet. Lord, I thought I'd lost you forever. I've been up here looking for, well, not looking for grass, definitely looking for y'all, but I haven't found any grass. So please tell me, you found some grass, right? Please?"
We were
We got some
definitely
honey.
looking for you too.
Oh, thank you. You don't know how much that means to me. I'm sure you was worried sick, but here I am.
We found some black and yellow grass.
Well, black and yellow grass. Can't
Yeah,
say
it was growing out of some bees.
Now, unless we've gone somewhere a lot weirder than what I'm used to, I don't believe grass grows out of bees. I think you're pulling my foot.
Well, isn't that what fur is though? It's just meat grass.
Ugh.
That's
Bungo leans over to whoever's standing closest to him and
Episode title. Meat
whispers. Whoever's standing closest to him, Bungo leans over and whispers into that person's hip, I guess. I don't think she's quite all right.
He was the first one out of the pyramid, so you're whispering to her.
He does. Yes, that's canon. That's somewhere between hearing her talk and him talking. He forgot that she was the one standing next to him. So he like does that thing where you like look away from the person as you're whispering to them, and not realizing he's talking to her.
Oh God. I believe I'm the one who had our exit paper, correct?
believe so.
And if I recall correctly, they told us just rip it and the door will appear.
That part I don't remember.
Do you guys make it
Right.
back out to the where that portal was on the
Oh,
on the
okay.
far side of the ruins? Do you travel through? And also, do you try to circumvent the ruins, or do you travel through the ruins?
I mean, we already went through the ruins and didn't find anything and weren't attacked, so I'm gonna try to go just, shortest path.
All right. In that case,
I feel like I just raised a death flag there, so.
let's see here. I will lower it and you can do it at advantage as well. Bashaw, if you want to try to make your way through the ruins scouting to ensure that you is it that you can't be surprised, or is it that you're only surprised on a 1?
1.
Aha. Very well. In that case, you can roll a d6 twice, and all you got to do is not get 2 1s.
Snake eyes. We're being watched by a snake.
Must be the baby.
Huge benefits to having a ranger. Piece of cake. All right. And if your goal is just to get back to where the portal is, you do that. It takes you quite some time. And alright, so 3. And you find that you're quite tired. You're quite exhausted by the time you get back across the sand. Your feet kind of sink into it, especially carrying the stuff, over the sand dunes, and you have to pull at the sand as it just like slides with this just piles of stuff, the treasure you found in your sacks and your backpacks. But you make it back there, and you said that you activated the rune that they gave you. Like you held it up. Okay. And then, all right. Nothing seems to happen. And you do remember that they said that sometimes it could take time. only certain times a day that they would open it.
I turn to Bungo, and instead of having him regale us with tales of his time apart from the party, I attempt to initiate a game of patty cake.
Is the plan to wait?
Yes, unless someone else has a better idea.
So you're playing patty cake with Bungo?
Well, I'm attempting to. It's up to you.
Bungo
This could only
definitely
end well.
no. Bungo definitely thinks you're trying to hit him, and so he drops down low and just bear hugs both your ankles and tries to trip you.
Bashar leans on his spear and watches.
He goes for the only weapon in a halfling's arsenal, which is going armadillo mode.
12, 13, 14.
In that case, I choose to just bunny hop to another party member and be like, "Sup?" Like nothing's happening. Just totally fucking ignore that this is even a thing right now.
You all are bleary-eyed and horribly exhausted. And if you don't sleep soon, probably within the next few hours, you'll probably just start like, micro sleeping and blacking out and stuff from being so exhausted. But you wait and you wait and you wait, and eventually, and the portal opens back into the tower.
I point at Bungo and say, "Little help?"
Bungo jumps up and says, "I'll help you."
Never mind,
would-
took care of it myself, I guess.
I would like to escape through the portal.
Me too.
Escape to the portal.
Yes, definitely.
When you do, you can tell, even from the tower, that it's obviously nighttime in Perenval City. It's very dark outside, and
That
the
was my
inside,
monitor going out. Damn it.
the inside of the of the tower is lit by lantern light, and the two figures they're there, and they say the man and the woman, they say, "We're very sorry that it took us so long. I know that you're probably quite tired, and you can depart if you wish. But if you have just a moment, the master of our order would like to speak with you."
I'm listening. Looks around at the rest of the party. Good to get in with the
Amira,
powerfuls,
very
right?
nonchalantly agrees to wait for the leader of their order.
Okay. So they take you up. This is painful at this point. Your muscles are burning. They have left you to carry all the stuff on your backs, the backpacks, and you're covered in dust and muck. And you've got like blood and gore on you and everything from insects and horrible things that have happened that you've seen. And but they bring you up to a lit room in a study where a man in a simple gray robe with a bald head is sitting at a table. And he says, "I'm so sorry. You must be," and he rises and he comes out to you like benevolently, and he's like, "You must be so exhausted. Please set everything down here. It'll be safe here, and to take a seat, and we'll get you some refreshing tea, and we'll have you on your way so that you can get your rest. You must be so exhausted. I can't imagine what you've been through." And he leads you all to these really comfortable chairs, in the study surrounded by books, and he sits down, and he looks at you all with concern.
Were the guards who let us back in the same ones that were there when we left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has there been any apparent change to their age?
No.
Okay. I do not set my things down just because my treasure. But I do sit with my things like a weirdo.
Yeah,
And
you like sit with your backpack in the chair and just put this duffel of of jewels and gems and gold and silver and brass coins in front of you.
I would like to ask him. First, I would like to give him whatever sign of respect would be due a man in his position, and then ask him how long we were gone.
We keep very close records of these things, and we have that you were gone 38 hours precisely.
Did it feel like 38 hours? I'm
38 hours.
It felt for you. It felt
years
like
for
weeks
us.
or months. Yeah, it felt like a really long time. But you did only sleep once.
Yeah, no, I'd say. Ugh.
So while we're hanging out here, is there something you wanted?
Yes, I know that your contract with Perenval City, your mark, and the two people that led you into the portal are standing at the door behind you. I know that it's confidential in nature, and I would never ask you to do something that made you uncomfortable. But our order keeps a careful watch on things in this tower. And that is the thing that we consider to be the most important. It's a solemn duty for us. And so I wanted to offer, you felt like it wouldn't betray the spirit of your mark. If there's anything that you wanted to share with us, we would keep it in the utmost confidentiality and might be able to help you in other ways. Now, I think if it wasn't clear from the mark itself, that you received this basically station of papers and notes and agreements and things. And it does in fact say basically you are sort of like agents of the kingdom. And so part of it is the expectation that you would, the things that you're going in there to learn about, like basically they've said, keep whatever you find, but we want the information. The kingdom has said that, the Council of Perenval. So,
But have they said we can't give other people the information? Is there an NDA? Okay.
yeah, it's kind of like an NDA, yeah.
Okay. I
Is
mean,
this a trick?
exactly. So you're wanting us to give you information about what we find in there, and your whole deal is guarding this temple, but they don't tell you anything normally about the place? I guess I'm trying to understand your whole angle here.
I don't mean to have an angle, sir. By the way, my name is Zane, and I am the chief steward of the Order of Scribes here, and my master has appointed me to stand watch here, because I think you know that you have seen that there are very unusual things behind these doors in this tower. Now, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of these doors. And this is something that we keep a very close watch on. To answer your question, Ben, we do know what is behind these doors, but we don't venture into them like the adventurers of Perenval do. And it's true that the kingdom keeps its own counsel on what to do with things behind these doors. They often have more provincial interests than we do. Matters economic, military in nature. The Order of the
Okay.
Scribes works for someone with more broader concerns.
Broader, how like broader than the good of the city?
You could say that.
Or, okay.
Um,
Hey, no disrespect. I respect a good angle by any means, and angles are great. But just want to make sure I understand that on the same page with everything here. My duties as an adventurer and all.
Who do you work for? Is it like a demon?
A demon.
Something that we should be concerned about?
He like recoils when you say that, actually, and like holds his chest delicately for a moment, and is like, "No, I take offense to that, Shay. I can't believe that you would say something like that. But
It's surprisingly common.
okay, well, fair. Especially, I would imagine where you come from.
I
Bashaw.
apologize. You're just being very very vague and ominously ominous.
That's true.
I'm tired. I apologize. I'm a bit off put here.
Well,
My best.
if memory serves, does the order not happen to serve the legendary court mage of old, Felsane the half elf?
You see a alarmed expression on the two people standing behind you, and then he smiles, and he says, "Oh, and what would make you say that?" Of course, people that have been here for a long time know that this was once part of her domain. Is that why you would suggest that? And more to your point, Shay, we have to have our own secrets, and I hope that you can understand that. What I offer is protection. If you entrust the information you have to us, no one will harm you, and I can promise you that. In addition, you will be unhindered until you leave the last time and prepare your report for the council. The council will never know. And lastly, we will give you a boon.
Rat Patty's like, sounds like good to me. I don't know.
I enjoy a good boon. Could you elaborate on the boon? Is it one boon? Do we get to name the boon? Is it a boon per person?
We have certain things in our possession here in the tower that could be of interest or use to adventurers, things that are magical in nature. I think that you could name what you would like, and we could at least come to some arrangement.
Well, Bashaw certainly has no qualms with double dipping.
There is one out of character. There is one thing about Ben and Bashaw as far as double dipping, and that is that you don't just have the council to contend with. You have Alana and Maddock crew, who also are wanting what you have.
Oh, this is not the same people.
No,
This is a different
no.
group.
No,
Oh,
this is
okay.
another group.
This is a third group.
This
Oh,
is a
okay.
third group, yes.
I didn't put that together. I was thinking these were the same ones that were like, oh, you are the chosen ones or something.
So it's kind of like, you've got these, people that are like, we're going to probably break your kneecaps if you don't deliver information to us first, or at least second. I guess you'll see. That's your choice. You can see what happens. But then, this third group now is like, no, we'll protect you, and you don't have to worry about that. And, so, yeah.
I want to cautiously press the issue. I like out of character. Maybe I missed something while I was thinking about stuff, but I just kind of want to be like, why be so cagey about who you guys worship when the legends of the heroes who ascended are so widespread in other places?
What's your charisma modifier?
0.
Okay.
I'm as bad as everybody else.
I got an 8. He says, I don't know as much as I know about where you came from, and as much as I know about your dealings here in the city, Chimera, I can't imagine why you're so interested in our order. However, I will make a deal with you. If you agree to our terms, then we will entrust you with some more information about the order.
I mean, I feel like the party's pretty much leaning towards yes, telling them. Correct me
I
if I'm
mean,
wrong.
I'm still kind of like, what exactly? I mean, they want to know what we found in there. By the way, I see it, as long as we're sharing knowledge, that hey, why should we limit knowledge to just the ones who anybody who wants to pay us seems like, you know what, that seems a fair trade.
It's not like they're putting us out of anything, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like there's got to be a hook somewhere. And I'm still trying to wait for
It's the demon. It's the demon.
But so we tell you them information. We have no negative repercussions, and we have 2 other groups that also want us to tell them information, but not to tell each other. Am I understanding this correctly?
Out of character, you would know that about about the Crew family, Alana and Madoc. Alana is the one that got you all in trouble. Madoc is the one that is extracting the price. Madoc is basically now. If you adhered to your basically what happens, because you've heard of these things, like when you start acting as a agent of Perenval, an adventurer of Perenval, you start to see things and do things that are of value to others, and far more valuable than gold and treasure that you find are secrets and magic. Secrets and magic are the most powerful things that you learn, and esoteric and things. So you don't know how Madoc will react if you fulfill the end of your mark, but you do know that if you were to reveal information to a third party or a fourth party, or use it against him, then probably you all would come to odds, you know.
Yeah, but I'm also sorry, I've forgotten some of that. It's like I'm also kind of like, oh yeah, we'll sell stuff to Madoc, but also screw that guy. So
you're right.
Yeah.
So it's totally up to you, right? Like how you make these choices and what risks you want to take.
Sorry, I was having to remember some character stuff. So like,
actually, I don't even have the notes, but what I have is that basically you were blamed. Both of you were blamed for something that went down with his daughter. And then Madoc pinned it on you, and basically is like, now you're going to have to work for me and pay this off. That was my understanding of it.
Yeah, I just totally got them mixed up when I had forgotten about the names. So yeah, so Alana was the rich girl who was slumming it, who like I thought was friendly, and turns out all those rich guys were just taking advantage of the poor schmuck who'd wandered into town. And she kind of screwed, and I got blamed. But her rich daddy ends up holding the debt, and so now I gotta repay him. So I'm also kind of wanting to stick it to him however I can.
Yeah, you could take that risk. Okay, so it sounds like
also doing the.
And then I want to hear from Bungo. Like, what does Bungo want to do? Joel, are you muted?
Oh, yep. Sorry. Oh shit. What's Bungo's best chance of finding more grass?
Oh. What do you think?
Bungo's personally fine with telling the people in front of him everything.
Right.
He's very happy
Okay.
to disclose.
So who is it? Is it Chimera? Do you tell them what you saw and what you experienced in there?
Well, I mean, unless the party's not into it, then yes. But if the party is like, we probably like
I think everybody's into it.
specifically.
That's what I'm getting from
Okay,
it.
because Rat
Yeah,
Bite up
nobody's
there was
got a
kind of like,
Right.
okay, then
So-
yeah, I'll just be like, okay, well, here's all the stuff.
All right. So Zane, he is writing all of this stuff down that you're sharing with him. He's got a quill out. He's recording all of it. There are certain points when you mention the honey and the potion, and he says, "May I see that liquid that they gave you? Not the honey, but the one that, like, I think somebody else gave you, right? Somebody offered you the fluid."
The people with the gourd that you didn't let me sacrifice unintentionally.
He said,
Animal people.
That's what he said. He said, Zane says, "May I please just take a look at that?"
I let him look at that.
And he takes it over, and he takes it to a place, and he puts it over a fire. He puts a drop of it out, and he looks at it. He takes some more notes, and then he looks through something, and then he brings several. There's just all these different mechanisms that he brings down to look at this. He's like, "I thought this was the case. Oh dear."
So
And-
that's good price for that run, right? That was very valuable.
Yes, we will pay you for this, and in fact, I'm afraid that I can't allow you to leave with this. But I will pay you.
Now, Zane. I thought we were friends here.
We are. Ben, you don't understand.
What have you found?
I promised you I would tell you, Chimera, and so I'll tell you some things about the Order of the Scribes. The Order of the Scribes collects information on the distant realms outside of the multiverse. We look at how there are places that intersect with our reality that cause reality to break down, like a cancer in reality itself. And we observe this and collect information on it, and we seek to prevent this cancer, if you will, from spreading into reality. And this liquid is just one such example of that. This is from something from the far realms, from the places where reality is unreal.
Scott kind of turns to the party and says, "How do you think Charles, the great prophet, came across such a thing?"
It was being handed out by the cultists of Zargon, right? They were just going around and passing it out like candy. That's what our friend said.
I just totally ignore him and look straight at. Fuck. I wrote down
Zane.
names. No, I look straight at Bishaw, and just deadpan face. I just say, I don't know, but I bet it grew on him.
Everyone dies. The tower collapses.
Yes! TPK!
I'm going to stop
Mercy.
telling such bad jokes.
The
Meteor
multiverse
storm.
demands it. Just
Okay, yeah, and he says, I will pay you. Did they give you any other kinds of fluids in particular? Something, food or water or juices, oils, unguents, potions, anything like that?
no, I don't think
I
so.
do have nothing given, but I did extract oil from a giant beetle.
And quite a bit of blood from very many different types of creatures.
Can I take a look at that?
Yeah.
I'll be
Oh.
very quick. And he looks at it and he's like, this is fine. And he hands you back the beetle stuff.
Oh, okay.
Nothing else peculiar. No kinds of fluids or gelatinous things. Nothing that you found there that was peculiar in nature.
Gelatinous? No.
Bungo,
I mean, you found some mushrooms, Bungo, right?
did you bring back any honey, Bungo?
Yeah, it was the honey.
I did
No,
find.
what are you talking about? We didn't have any honey.
No, I
I
didn't
mean-
find any honey, but I did bring a bunch of
Yeah,
these
no honey.
mushrooms. I've been eating one of them, and I feel a little funny.
He goes over and he finds some things and he comes back and he gives you some vials to drink.
I mean, I guess the bee people shared some honey with us at one point, right? There was that, but we don't have anything that we took with us.
I see.
Is there no honey on the golden gems under the dripping beehive?
Is any of the treasure honey? Are you asking?
Do we have honeyed treasure?
No,
Man,
no,
our
we don't.
treasure is
No.
probably covered in honey.
I mean, that would make sense. It was underneath a beehive.
I mean, out
That's
of
the
character, you
worst.
guys do have honey.
Yes,
but
I'm
any
like,
Yeah.
character, you don't
"God,
have
no,
honey.
we don't.
Oh, wait,
we
yeah.
drank
Right.
some
I've got
honey
a
from
wineskin
the
full of
people.
fucking honey. I poured
Yeah.
out fucking wine. Damn it!
What did you do with this honey?
No, they shared some honey with us, and we drank it. Remember, that's all the honey we came across, right, guys? Rabbi's got his weird eye. He's winking with like,
Oh, that's
the good
right.
eye.
yeah.
Yes, we did eat all of the honey.
Okay.
I mean, they shared some. They were bee people, like we
Wink.
told you, but you know,
Um,
that was about it.
That was in
Zane,
character too. I said wink and winked at the same time.
Zane says, well, if you begin to feel strange in any way, please let us know. And now, the payment, and these the small collection. You didn't have very much fluid. He's like, I'll give you 200 gold, which is a ton of money out of character, but
Could we get that in spellbook?
you wish for magic instead.
Well, he
Wait,
does,
what?
Well, I
but-
personally.
Is it
I
200
mean, we
gold
give him
each or
magic.
200 gold for the party?
It's for the party. Yeah, it's for this item. He's offering you 200 gold for it.
I would not consent to our one magic guy being like, I want magic instead of gold for the party.
Okay,
Unless
in
you're gonna
his
pay the
defense,
rest of us.
in
It's
Shay's
hard to
defense,
help the party without magic.
yes, and I also want to note it's very hard to get magic. So I do want to
An
note that,
investment.
like, yeah, this guy's
Okay.
your nuke.
We found a lot of gold and no magic.
Okay,
Bungo-
but I think we should give him 200 less gold when we divvy up the treasure.
No,
I was like, well, if you give him some magic, I mean, that's a commendable, but you know, still something for the rest of us, right? Right, guys? Well, okay.
Yeah, we all get 50 gold out of his cut.
well,
I think what we need to do is
Oh, go ahead.
say we got to barter that he gets like 3 weeks or a month in their libraries. Like we just drop him off like at a daycare. We go hang out at a pub and he just comes back with all the spells.
That's really
many
mean,
spells.
though. I mean, would you want to spend that much time with him?
If we are agreed, Bashaw, that will you be returning to the portal on kingdom business, or is this your last foray into the portal?
I believe we're going back. We're going back. Are we going back?
Yeah,
Was our intention.
Yeah,
that's a
we're going
plan,
back.
right?
I ask then and he collects gold and he separates it out and you get small pouches and there's 50 gold for each of you. And he says, I'll give you each this, but if you decide not to return, I ask that you let me know as quickly as possible. Let me know if you begin to feel strange. And if you do go through the portal again, speak to me first. And, other than the 50 gold, yes, Shay, that will be the boon that I offer. you can come and study under our scribes, and we will teach you one powerful spell. And out of character, in this world and in this game, a single spell is like a nuke. It's not
I've
like
observed that.
It's not like and you can't have many of them. You can't have many spells. So having sleep means no, y'all are asleep to the end. That's it, basically. Like, just to keep it simple. And I might just even rule that. Like, unless it's something really powerful or special, you just make everything there go to sleep. Or if it's light, you can just blind everybody with light, and you can just get away. And if you're blinded, you can't act on your turn. It also means you get free actions in combat, or you can run away with no penalty. So magic is extremely powerful and rare. So being able to find someone that can teach you even a single spell is huge. Not to tell y'all what but I'm just defending Shay. I feel like Caleb is right in this case. So I just okay.
I agree. All the magic.
So I guess we'll pick him up in a week.
Yeah. Okay. So he says, "Oh, I'm sure that you all are very tired. And do be careful out there. We'll be watching. And I thank you. I think you've made the right choice." And you all leave. All right.
Real quick before we go, so are you familiar with Matic Crew? Is he?
I'm not. Who is Matic Crew?
Okay,
Is
never
this
mind. I
someone
thought
that
he
you
was
met
on the. He's on the council, right?
I don't
the
think
guy
he's a
I-
council member. I think he's just a business.
He's just a
owner.
rich guy.
Yeah, just rich guy.
Okay. I just want to make sure because he's trying to, if a powerful influencer in the city, if he's.
I thought he was on the council. He was on the council of something. It's a council of
he was on
merchants.
the
Oh
council.
crap! You're right. He's on the council of Perenval. Yes, I knew Nomadic Crew. Of course, he's a member of the Council of Perenval, one of the ruling council members.
Okay, and that's one of the ones who we're not supposed to tell that the council is. We're not letting them know that we're giving you information, right? That's just make sure we're on the same page. Is that the understanding I
I
have?
would
or am
prefer that you not embellish anything beyond your mark that you've been given.
We've
Perfect,
never met
that's
this
great.
man before in our lives.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page, and I completely agree. Likewise, if you hear anything about Matic Crew, that he's poking his nose in anything in particular, let us know. Just because, if it's a two-way thing, you know what I mean? Just in case he ever gives any trouble with the council that you hear about, and that interferes with any of your business, feel free to let me know.
Of course.
Good to know. Sounds like we got a great relationship started here. I look forward to working with you.
Rest well, heroes. And you leave. You're escorted out of the tower by these two people. And interestingly, these scribes in their gray robes and pens, they accompany you down the street at night until you arrive back in the Golden Nut complex. And you find an inn, and you have some rooms. They don't follow you in, and they don't pay. So an inn for the night here is a gold piece. It provides breakfast in the morning, which is your meal for the day, so that you're not exhausted the next day. And you spend your gold piece at the inn, and you wake up in the morning. You feel like, I can't. Bungo, what kind of dreams does Bungo have?
Bungo has a narrow variety of dreams. Most
Grass.
of his dreams, they involve grass, and they involve eating mostly pastry-based diet. And then he frequently has naps in his dreams. And then once in a while he'll have a horrifying cataclysmic nightmare.
Is this a thrashing night? Is Bungo thrashing?
Yeah,
It's a
he's
thrashing night. Okay.
Yeah, big time.
This
Yeah,
is
the mushrooms and the fear have disagreed with his stomach.
Bashaw
I
is
would
just
like
like
to,
this is normal.
I would just like to shake Bungo awake and be like, "What is it? Are you dreaming of a cow grazing?"
Fire, death, and destruction everywhere. All my family's dead. And then he rolls back over and goes to sleep.
I
You
hate
thought
this when he does
they were going to be food-based nightmares, but they are real nightmares.
Actually, I thought it was gonna be a cow ruining the grass-based nightmare, but still, that's not good either.
That's
Jesus.
You know, he does have those occasionally. Those are far worse.
We should start tying him up and leaving him in the barn. Wait, was it a gold piece per person or for the whole party? I feel like we're all sleeping in the same room right now. Is why I ask.
Yeah, but it's comfortable.
Okay.
And you know, there's plenty of space. You're not like sleeping in a bed together or something, a straw mat. If the gold piece, everybody has a nice bed. Everything's partitioned. You have plenty of space. You have chests and a fireplace. It's like your own little, you know, studio here you got going on. So it's nice. So, anyways, you wake up and you hear a clamor outside. And it sounds like people are fighting in the street down below. And you smell the smell of food downstairs. And
Food or meat?
food.
Okay.
Smells like it's probably some kind of stew or mixture of something and bread.
Do we have a window?
Yeah, you have a window overwatching the street.
I would like to look down at the noise.
Yeah, what's going on up there?
You have to kind of look further out, but eventually you see all you can actually make a if any of the rangers or thieves make it, you have to make a 3 and 6 d6 check.
Well, I rolled a 1 on a d6.
You see hooded figures in gray robes dragging a body into a nearby street.
Gray robes like the Order of the Scribe gray robes?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we should check that out.
I got a 3.
Well, does it look like they're recovering the body that was slain, or that they're trying to hide a body that they slew?
It looks like they conked someone out in a fight and they're trying to hide it
Abduct
quickly. Yeah, so that no one sees what happened.
They said they were gonna protect us.
Wondering if perhaps somebody was planning to pay us a visit.
Yeah, I want to know what Let's try and catch them before they get rid of that body. I want to know who that was.
Yeah, I'm also curious as to whether or not that's a thing.
All
I
right.
also want to make sure that honey
will-
we took is well hidden in our room just in case, because I plan on
While we're
using
in
that
the
for my
room,
bad
what you
habits
doing with
later.
the honey? What's
I'm
I
just
got
gonna
4
get all my
skins of
crap
honey.
together like I'm going to if I do anything. I'm not gonna fucking leave my honey up here.
That's another question. Do you all carry all this treasure out? Or do you leave it in the room?
I'm staying in the room and sleeping it.
Shay is going to stay in the room with the stuff.
You guys can go accost our protectors. I'm gonna catch up on
I'm
some
not
stuff
really
here.
gonna cost it.
I will stay in the room and protect all of our treasure, and you guys can go question the Order of the Scribe.
So
Yeah,
Shay
Bungo cannot be roused.
Shay, Bungo, Chimera staying. Bashaw and Ben are going to go try to run out with just like your light kit, your soft kit, and you're going to just try to get caught up with these folks. So,
Ben, you can climb out the window real good with
That's
thiefy
true.
stuff.
so
Maybe you go there and I go around.
interesting. Okay. Yeah. So Ben's going to try to do the whole rooftop jumping chimney sweep deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. All right. I wasn't prepared for that. Let me think here.
Neither. That's great.
I feel like he has to sing the chimney sweep song from Mary Poppins while he does it, though.
Well, either way, I rolled a 1, so but let me think of how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to say, because you're taking the rooftop, what you're going to be able to do is you have to roll a 1 on a d6 to be able to catch up to them, or since you took the rooftop, you'll be able to you can either, well, let's start with that. Let's see if you can catch up to them first. But I think it's going to come at a cost. But I'll give you a benefit too, the rooftop. 1 on a d6. And then Bashaw, same thing, a 1 on a d6 to try to catch up to them. And then I got more things for both of you all. Okay, so then for Ben, you can attempt to gain a vantage point to know where they're going, but you're going to have to climb. So you'll have to do a raw climb sheer surfaces check. And you'll fall if you fail it. And then for Bashaw, what did you get on the d6?
5. I didn't succeed.
You can attempt a ranger tracking check to see where they went if you choose to. And because it's hard ground, there's a bunch of them. It just happened. All in all, I'm going to say that you have a 40% chance of success.
No dice. 81.
Okay.
All right. So it's an 88 on my climb. So
I follow a dog.
Also, Shay, you have 1 hit point recovered.
Love to hear it. I was just going to ask about that.
So my climb surfaces was a success because I rolled. I need to roll under, right? And it's an 88. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you leap to another rooftop, and you can see them dragging a body down into a corner, into a nearby, what looks like a warehouse, like a larger structure that just, it's a larger building that looks like some kind of storage building.
Okay. Can I see Bashaw anywhere to like point?
Yeah. Yeah, so you
Point
can
him,
point to
try
Bashaw and
wave
tell
him
him,
down
yeah.
and point over there where they're.
You're
going.
also able to make it down too, or you can stay on the rooftops and try to see if you can get in from another angle if that's your goal.
I'm gonna stay up here until Bashaw can get to where kind of keep an eye on him and see if he can get to the spot where they went in, and then once I know he's getting to the right place, I want to kind of look for another way if there is another like rooftop access or something like that.
Bashaw, what do you do?
I'll run up to try to find what's going on.
Ben points it out, says, "Hey, they're there," and you're able to see it. And so you run, you get to the door, and you make it to the door. And before we decide what to do at the door, you see that happen, Ben. And when you look at this building, you can see that there are, in fact, lots of vertical places that you could try to make it in. However, unfortunately, there's a large gap between one of the lower buildings and this taller one. And you're going to have to make a big leap for it to be able to make it.
Yeah, how far of a leap is that? What are my odds? Do tell me the odds.
You can make a dexterity check to pass, but I'm going to do it at a +2, which is a bad thing. Yeah, or you can do a raw. You'd think by now I would just automatically have the thief thing here. Or you can have a another climb sheer surfaces check.
I want to make a climb sheer.
I mean, you
surfaces
can do
check.
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna regret this, but so if it's a D20, I have a +1. Is that a D20 -1? So
you roll the D20 and you add a 2 to the result to see if you get under your dexterity.
But if my dexterity has a modifier, that doesn't matter.
No.
Okay.
Not for an attribute check. Yeah.
Gotcha. Let's see. 9. Okay, that's under. My dexterity is a 13. So.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. So 11 and 13. So that passes, and you can do the climb sheer surfaces check. That'll give you a better result if you pass that. And you hold the result, and meanwhile, I'm going to pan back to Bungo and Chimera and Shay. Meanwhile,
Ooh,
you all
failed.
hear conk, conk, conk on the door as someone knocks on the door.
Well, I'm pretty sure Bungo went back to sleep, and I know Caleb went back to sleep. So I'm just going to put on my best fake voice and be like, "Who is it?" And try to sound like a sleepy orc.
Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to bother you. I'm here with the Kingdom Messenger Service, and I have a letter to deliver to a to a Bashar.
He stepped out, but this is his room. You can just slide that under the door.
I see. Could you sign my invoice, please? And actually, some documents slide under the door, and it has like a wax seal on it.
I do. I sign it with the worst signature that says Bashaw ever signed, and then I slide it back.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. May the All-Father smile on you. And then, like, the voice, like, tunk, 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 and it walks off and down the hall. And the letter shows an invitation to the...
Oh, I mean, I wasn't going to read his mail.
Oh, you're not going to read it. My bad. Good point.
Yeah,
It is his
mail.
mail.
Not a monster. I'm an asshole.
Nice.
Very
Okay.
kind.
Let's see. Meanwhile, back here, so you make the jump across, but just barely.
I
And
did
you
not
hang
make
on,
my climb.
You pull up, but it makes some noise. But you make it up to the rooftop, and you can see that this building does have a chimney. In fact, it also has a portion of the roof that is vintage shade only. It's not. It's just a cover. It's not. Whatever room that is, you could just simply hop into the room.
You know, my old skills as a sewer tosher. I'm used to squeezing into tight spaces, so chimney is the wrong direction, but it's the same kind of vibe that I'm used to. So I'm thinking I'm going to go for the chimney.
All right. Being a tosher, this is no problem at all, and you're tiny, and you're able to and get down the chimney.
Quietly get down the chimney, because I figure if I'm I'm less likely to be noticed through the chimney than if I just jump through the roof, so to speak. So I'm trying to be stealthy.
Meanwhile, Bashar, you're at the door. What do you do? Behind this door, according to Ben, this is where they dragged the body. You're muted.
You're muted, yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna see if I can hear anything going on in there.
Okay, you can make a listen at door check. I think there's a sufficient amount of stress going on right now where you could do that. It would be difficult to do.
Nope, definitely perfectly safe to go in there.
I'm sorry, I'm supposed to roll it too, but I forgot
Oh.
again. Once again, what'd you get? You got a 6?
Get a 6. Yeah. There's either a whole lot going on in there or nothing.
Yep. That's exactly, or somewhere in between, one of those things. And so, let me see here. Also gonna see. Okay. Yeah, you don't hear anything behind the door.
Is there any like windows or anything nearby?
There are windows. You would need to leap to get up to them, and they're opaque, but yes.
What I'm thinking of doing is just taking my sling, trying to knock out a window a little further down, and then hopefully kind of distract anybody and make my way in.
Meanwhile, Ben, you hear yelling further down the street as you start to climb down the chimney. That's all you notice. And then as you climb down the chimney further, you hear a muffled voice and someone like smacking someone, and then like a oh, you know, and it sounds like somebody smacking somebody around. And Bashaw, you knock out a window no problem. It adds time and noise. And you hear Ben, you hear scuffling and dragging, and you hear a sound, and then silence, and then dragging, and yeah, and then Bashaw, you knock out the window, you pull yourself up, and you look inside, and you see.
Oh, I was gonna like knock out a window, and then go in through the door.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And like, hey, yeah, there's noise over there, and in we
Gotcha.
go.
So you go in through the door, same result. You go in through the door, and you see a big open stone building that's just slightly raised from the surrounding pavement that would allow some large storage. There's no storage in here currently. And a second level with a chimney and some rooms up above it on a second floor that's accessed through a stair in the corner, a switchback stair, and a door in the back, and a blood trail. As someone has dragged a body off, and but they have when you go back and you check to see where they've dragged it off in the distance, the blood trail ends, and you hear a ton of commotion further down the street from where it is, and it's hard to know where they went, or what they did, or who it was.
So, when I heard this, if I pop out of the chimney, I don't see. Do I see what he saw just then?
Yeah.
Or so I'm popping out of the chimney. I was listening. Pop out of the chimney. Like, oh, I just see Bashaw. I was like, well, guess we weren't fast enough.
Josh shrugs and starts heading back towards the end.
I was like, so that blood trail just goes and ends. I followed where the
the blood trail ends. There's a bit of like unimproved area in the next like the street across from where that door is, and it is also strange that like it does just end. Like the blood trail at least ends. Now you can still try to track them down, but you're going to get further down the further away from the complex. It's going to take you some time, and you can choose to do that. But you can continue to try to follow the trail if you choose. You'll be leaving your companions and going further into the city. You also hear the faint sound of this going on. Where is it?
My thought being like, hey, you're a ranger, we can track them. But then we hear a commotion back towards where we came from, essentially, right? We probably don't want to leave our companions to whatever that is.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. I guess it's the right thing to do, is not just go on our little side mission here and abandon everybody.
Yeah.
Do it, I believe in you.
That being said, the commotion is also further down, away from where you came from. You're not sure where these people went. And meanwhile, back with Shay and Chimera and Bungo, it's been probably another hour or two. Did anyone lose hit points other than Shay?
No, I'm tanking.
I think I have. I don't know if I included this rule. It's not what I want. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Evening lands. You can add luck, so Bungo can give you luck. Wait, no, you can't do that for hit points. No, I guess I didn't add it. I was gonna add the binding wounds thing from old OD&D, but I don't think I see anything else. I think that yeah, that's it. Unless you use something else, if you purchase something to heal your wounds, and I'll make you a deal, I will use DCC Linkmar rules for that. So basically, if you spend the day and spend the money to bind your wounds, you can get a number of your hit points back. Also, if you don't return to a dungeon or adventure site, you get additional hit points back as well. And then Bungo awakes. And Bungo, you see that Chimera is there with some papers, and Shay is there. You realize that Shay is not looking too great.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to call in from my phone. My laptop crashed at the exact moment you said Bungo can go. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, you wake up. So what is Chimera and Bungo and Shay doing? It's been about 30 minutes now, the better part of an hour, while they've been, like, your companions have been gone, and you have this letter. And you hear a commotion, like, several blocks further up the street to the north.
Breakfast was included with our fee, right? We can eat here.
Mm-hmm.
We hear a commotion outside down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see? Do we have a window in our room? Can I poke my head out and see what is going on down the street?
It's hard to see, but when you poke your head out and you pull up, you can see smoke coming up above the buildings, several blocks up to the north.
Yeah, Bungo says, fellas, sorry, fella and lady. I don't know our companions aren't back yet, are they?
No, not yet.
Yeah, he says, I don't know where our companions are, and there's buildings burning down the street, and I have a sinking suspicion that they may have something to do with it, so maybe we should assemble our gear together and at least be ready to hit the road.
I will also note you are all with treasure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe first things first on today's itinerary should be opening a safety deposit box
That's my plan.
after breakfast.
Agreed.
All right, so you all go down, and there is
We have a majority of it.
one of the many inns that hold on. One of the many inns and taverns that is in this huge complex in the eastern side of the city, and there's a scrawny little halfling woman who's somewhat aged, and a single little ponytail, a side ponytail, over her large halfling ear. She has a sincere look on her face, and she says, "What can I get for you?"
Something meaty. I need to.
Oh, yes.
I need to consume something that's died.
Bacon!
You don't look well, dearie. Do you need some help?
Oh no, he's just ugly.
Oh, yes.
I'm just see what I. This is it's. I'm actually physically fine. This is all psychological damage from being with her. Yeah, it's rough.
Well, this is an uncomfortable conversation. I'll go get you some meat.
Yeah,
there we
Turns around
go.
and leaves. You've made this
Should have
poor
left my said bacon, lady.
halfling woman uncomfortable, and she's going to go make you all some bacon. And she does, and she eventually comes back. This is taking another, this is all taking about an hour or so. Meanwhile, back with Bashaw and Ben. So you all come back to the back of the building, and you can hear a bunch of commotion several blocks to the north. The trail has run cold. What do you do?
We should probably head back.
Yeah, we were gonna head back to our companions, right?
All right. When you make it back to the inn, you can hear this commotion further down the street. There's a bunch of people yelling, and a bunch of. Eventually, you hear like marching, and like some kingdom authorities that have shown up on the scene and stuff. There's just a bunch of stuff happening. Meanwhile, surrounding you are the sounds of other people working, wagons, and the strange flying mechanisms that go up and down the main avenue of Perenval City, and tons of people talking, and the day has become alive. And you come back to the inn and you enter into it. You have the smell of bacon. It's all laid out on a table, and Bungo has already eaten your share. That's the Bungoism that's happening for this.
Perfect.
I do not offer them part of my bacon.
When
because
they
it's not
walk
bacon.
in, I would like to gesture to my bacon and say, "Look, I have outlived this creature."
This is a
Barely.
great.
Well, fine then. I just walk past and go to my room, and I want to try this weird honey because now I think there's something fancy. I don't know.
Okay. Do you eat some of the honey?
Yeah, I'm thinking. As a adventurer, I get bad habits. I'm like, I want to find out if this honey is a new bad habit. I don't know.
You get you can make it your bad habit if you want. And by the way, you guys let me know if you want to go through your bad habits. But you get 2 temporary hit points, and you feel invigorated after eating the honey.
It's an entire shay's worth of HP.
Yeah.
And you lose 1 flask of honey. I can't remember how many.
Okay. I had it noted as 4.
Right.
So, see, Bungo, you ate my meal, and now I was like, I'm using party resources. See what happens.
Those
I
are
think
things
we'd actually
we
already
do to
lost him by
ourselves.
that point, so it was 4 between the rest of us.
I will count that as your meal. What is Basha doing?
He just goes and orders another meal.
Okay, that's another gold piece. And you
Extra
get
bacon.
extra. It's a huge meal for a gold piece. You get a feast, really, for yourself, and you are eating and everything. And what do you say? What do you do for the day?
I guess we should go sell stuff.
Companions and comrades, I have had a brilliant vision of our financial future.
Oh, Bashaw scooches in.
Don't get that excited. I think we should invest in a covered wagon. Think about it. It's the mobile home of our day. We can take it anywhere we adventure on this plane of existence. We can store treasure in it. We can sleep in it. If you need to ford a river, we can roll those dice. It's got everything you could want in life, really.
Can we put a good lock on it?
Bashaw is sold.
I assume that we could stick some chests in it and nail them to the ground, nail them to the wagon, and then put a lock on the chests. It's everything you need.
We can figure out a way to camouflage it for wherever we are.
That sounds like a you problem.
That sounds like that's
We
what
have a
we got
guide
you
for that.
for. Yeah. I mean, you're settling for
But
it.
I like where your head's at. That's what I'd like to call innovation. Yeah.
Keep our stuff safe. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Somebody can steal a wagon.
Wrap it.
But other than that, yes.
I mean, nah, I don't really want to go in on a whole wagon with people. It sounds like not a great plan to me. Sorry.
And I haven't had this conversation since 2008. Okay. So, Chimera, do you give Bashai's letter?
Yes. I just totally fucking forget about it, and then some weird voice in my head is like, "Hey, you gonna give that guy a letter?" And I'm like, "Yes. By the way, Basha, you got some mail last night from some creep at the door."
Thank you. He takes it and pops the seal and gives it a read.
The seal is purple, emblazoned with the symbol of the dragon. It is the High Council symbol of the Kingdom of Perenval and represents one of the High Counselors, a permanent seat on the council. And you pop the seal. It's made of extremely expensive and fine vellum. And you look at the text, and it is a handwritten note from Lady Galby Mudbelt, who says, and she says a bunch of, I guess you would say, noble platitudes, greetings, adventurers of Perenval. I'm known as Lady Galby Mudbelt, a High Counselor of the Kingdom of Perenval. I humbly request your audience at the Royal Monument on the next day of your return of 107 of the 22nd of the fading. You can find me attending the Counselor's Court. Please ask for me and show my my royal emblem, and I dearly wish to speak to you soon. It is a matter of great urgency. Yours truly, High Counselor Mudbelt.
Intrigue continues. We've been invited to see another very important person.
Invited or invited?
I think the second one.
I don't know how many more enemies we can afford to make.
Challenge accepted. Answer is yes.
This conversation is eerily similar to the time I ended up creating a Church of Snakes. That's all I'm saying. You can't tame a snake, you're a paladin!
All right.
And then
You just watch me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Where to first? Where are we going?
Bank. Or I guess we gotta find somebody to buy this treasure, or is it mostly coins?
I will just say, because I'm not going to look all of it up. I will just say that you can find a buyer. No, this will become important economically later. To get the full value of the treasure, you need to convince people to buy it. So you'll need to go to a jewel crafter.
Okay, so Ratbite Ben will have to lead the way on that because he's the only one with a positive charisma score.
It's like, hey, we need to sell stuff. We drag stuff from the sewers, so to speak.
But he's also been rolling like crap. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is true.
As far as like, districts that you can go to right now. Right now, you're in the entertainment kind of area in Defender's Hill, the Golden Nut Complex. There is the Tower, which is the Great Tower of Perenval City. It is true that you've heard rumors that a powerful wizard, it was once her tower. Although Chimera, I don't know what you share with them about that. But probably you wouldn't know the details, but you would have heard of the owner of the previous owner of the tower. From your background. There is the Arena of Champions, which is both a religious center for the worship of the Allfather and also a place where people can either participate in fights or bet on fights. And then there is the merchant gate to the northeast, where there are tons of caravans and tons of stuff for sale and different people from outside of the city. And then there is the
I kind of feel like we could try selling this to the council first, actually. Like, give them a report and be like, you want to buy this stuff that was from there?
they probably would not do that unless it's
No?
like you also had a meeting arranged with a alchemist in
This is
Defender
true.
Show. No, I don't think they would buy like coarse rubies and gems.
Well, no, but I mean, like, for the stuff that's not close to currency, like, the only thing I'm really worried about selling is, like, the statue.
Yeah, we got
Hmm.
that goddess statuette that's 100 platinum pieces.
And while it
You could
has
try to
religious
find, like, a
value,
noble
it does not have religious
to buy
value
it.
to us, so...
Yeah.
And masks too. They might be interested in those at the tower.
Yeah, it's also true that like if you sell this stuff first, are you violating the mark and would they find out?
Oh, maybe we should go to them.
Tricky.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But you're
They
also
get
with
first
treasure
dibs,
until
right?
you do that.
Yes,
Yeah.
so let's give them dibs first and go give them our report, and then if they don't buy this stuff... Like, I'm definitely gonna fight them if they try to say, just give it to us. Like,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
You said information, that's what you get.
Who do you think we're
But
doing? I mean, we have
I
an
will-
agreement. We're adventurers.
Yeah.
We sell stuff. That's our.
Like,
that
I'll
was the
give them
idea. You said
first
we could-
dibs on the stuff we brought back, but if they
We-
don't want it, I'm gonna go sell it somewhere else.
We do have it in contract that whatever we find is ours, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be too worried about it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but you know,
I'm not saying
Give
you
them
can't sell it. I'm
first
saying like
dibs
if
as a
you
courtesy.
went straight away to sell a statue of a god, right? Like would that
Yeah.
violate your mark? And maybe it wouldn't, and you can make that decision.
No,
But
'cause
Yeah,
I mean,
they
we
get
know what the
dibs.
statue's of. We can tell them about it.
That's
That's
true,
the
yeah.
information. So.
especially depending on who you sell it to.
Mhm.
Okay, so you start making your way up to the royal monument that has the seat of the Council of Perenval, so you can find your Councilor Reiko, the
An
person
entire council on one seat. It just seems logistically difficult.
Indeed.
And
that was rough, Caleb.
yeah, it's like if Maddox Crew's on the council and we owe him money, right? Is it money or just favors we owe him? I can't remember.
I
Yes.
think, yes, I think that he wanted you to come to him first in all regards, like your
Yeah.
mind kind of thing.
Well, I think this goddess
Gangster
statue
style.
is worth. Totally out of character. I know it's probably a little early to say we're in the clear now. You're all paid up, but that's what I'm going to try to do.
Okay, so
Maybe if we don't go,
so you all load up your equipment, and you fill up your sacks with all your gold and gems and necklaces and gold idols and everything, and your backpacks and your 10-foot poles and everything that you're carrying. Do you take a one of the trams and pay the money for that, or do you walk?
I think we should walk.
All right. Okay, so
It's like
you start walking uphill to the north side of on the cliffside portion of Perenval. You can see the tower rising up to your right front as you're making your way up, and the sun always hanging in the northwest. The sun only rises and falls to the northwest here. And so you got the sun right there in the tower, and you're making your way up the hill of Defender's Hill. And you can see a building that has burned to the ground in the past hour. And different soldiers of Perenval in their tabards are pulling people out and attending to them in the streets. And at the same time, there are 6 women in armor. And they come out and they see you all, and they see that you've got backpacks on and sacks and everything, and they come up to you, and they're like, you're an adventurer of Perenval. You're one of the...
Absolutely.
Maybe.
You can't... Well, actually, let me see if you can lie to us. You can't lie to us.
Who are you?
And under what information do you accuse us of being adventurers of any kind? Maybe we're merchants
gone
who
on an
travel here
adventure
from
in my
afar.
Yeah. What's your business? Who are you?
We are clerics of the Allfather, better known as Tempest, his true name. And you are weak. I can smell it on you. That you enter and you plunder and you take from the dead, and you don't engage in righteous and honorable battle. You slink around in the darkness and try to find what you can.
Excuse you. I led an army of, I led a unit of like, what was it, 24 warrior women?
I think it was
Or a
like
dozen
4.
warrior
It's a thing.
women and slew 36 dudes?
He did that.
What's
Yeah.
your charisma modifier?
+0, but it's also the truth, so I feel like that
Yeah.
gives me some extra conviction in my statement.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
be the hype man here. Like, yep, it happened. Sure did.
They say, is this, and one of them, actually a different one, is like, is this true, sister? And she's like, prove this. Prove your honor in battle to us.
How the fuck do I do that? They're all dead!
Describe your tale. You don't
Well-
have to, but you know, like, what do you do?
I mean,
Well, I mean, we were.
give it to Ratbite, yeah. He's
Yeah.
got the story.
All right.
There we were, alone
While
in the
they're
dark,
distracted,
assailed
Michelle
on
just
all
kinda-
sides. These warrior women looking for us for guidance, and he's like, had a room ahead of us full of people who wanted to murder us, and sure enough, he to battle, got our fearless leader over here, and
Yeah, and
it
don't
was.
forget
I mean, it
how,
was.
well, don't forget how part of them wanted to retreat.
They did.
Ah,
There was.
Let's see here.
Yeah, but your inspired leadership really turned it around.
I mean, and it was a bloodbath. I mean,
saved your guys'
No.
asses.
no man left alive.
These clerics of Tempest, they ask a lot of questions about these warrior maidens, and they through your details and corroboration between what everyone's saying, they can see that you're telling the truth, and so they say, I see that we were wrong about you. Give us.
Should we forgive him? I mean,
No. This is a time for extorting. We have leverage.
I know. You gotta learn subtext, man. It's like, we need to have a talk on how you work a con, but that's for later. Should we forgive him? I think.
I mean, up to you guys.
I think they should. I mean, if they. Are you guys? Are you gonna? Is this gonna be a thing every time we come back from an adventure that you're gonna accuse us of being cowards? Because let's just stop that right here, and pull out some of the. I mean, heck, we've got all the weapons we got from all the people
wow.
we killed.
I love how we've stopped corroborating. We're just letting Lane flounder his way through this.
Yeah, but that's great too. And also, but then like that is a good point. Like you show them the weapons, like lay the swords out on the ground of the slain, right?
Well, and then we have like the fucking commander helmet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He
Oh,
probably
man.
still got that on.
It's like we got this. I'm like just going through the bags. Like
Isn't
we
it
got
cool?
this.
In
What
fact,
more do
yeah,
you
I
want?
probably
Come on.
do still have it on
People we
because
Yeah.
the only note I had from last session in the final statement I made to myself, so I wouldn't forget, is currently disguised as Gormite. So I am literally still wearing the blue tabard and the
gem
fucking
in it.
So how about
gold mask and the helm with the gem in the eye. Yeah.
So how about no more questioning us in front of the Allfather, and maybe you should think about what the Allfather would think of you for second guessing some fearless, some clearly talented
Huh.
combatants.
I mean,
How about, let's
mostly
just go,
fearless.
guys.
She says, "You're right. We were wrong. We will answer. We will answer to Tempest for our dishonor. But I would like
God,
to
are they
say
gonna try to
that if you would find High Priest Merrick at the Arena of Champions, know that you would carry our blessing, and you can let Merrick know that. You can let Merrick know that Sisko has offered her blessing for you to show your worth in the arena. But either way, we would like to offer you a blessing, if you'll take it, that you may carry into battle.
I mean, I'm not one to turn away a blessing, unless
Only a
any of
fool
my
would.
companions have a problem with it.
I'm good with it.
All right.
Like I always say, never look a gift blessing in the
Any
in the
orifice.
yeah.
That's the wrong one. Let me look up my
What
blessings.
was the name that they said?
Tempest.
Was
The Tempest, and then that was their order.
Sisko is the woman who's speaking to you, and she's told you that you can carry her blessing by her name to Priest Merrick Carson at the Arena of Champions if you ever want to enter the arena to prove your worth. I'm going to look up a blessing.
it kind of had like Oblivion vibes, where you're just walking and just suddenly it goes hot.
You there!
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry. That's totally what it is. Let's see. You get on your next attack roll a +1 bonus to attack and a +1 bonus to any morale of any hireling. And if you take an hour with them, you can get D4 hit points right now. What I'll say.
Like all of us?
Whoever's lacking hit points.
Oh,
That one guy.
I'll leave it up to the party.
I mean, we're
No,
kind
no,
of-
no. There's no need for you to hold back your contempt. You can voice your opinions.
I mean, we're just on our way to sell shit. I'm not really in a big hurry.
Kind of like when the wizard doesn't die. My favorite.
That's true.
I mean, I could take him or leave him.
All right. So you follow them up to the Arena of Champions, and you can hear cheering, and it looks like they're bloody, grisly rituals of combat have already begun for the day, and all of their bedding as well. And they take you into a place where they pray over Shay, and Shay, you get 4 hit points back.
Oh, delightful.
And you are now, it takes you several hours takes you 3 hours, because you walk up there, it takes an hour, and then you, yeah, so it takes 3 hours. You now have about an hour or so walk to get over to the Royal Monument. You're about the same distance as you were before, you're just in a different part of town. You'll have to cross in front of the tower. And that's where you are in the city. What do you do next?
I
See if
mean,
anybody else Acosta's on her way to turn in
yeah, that's
stuff.
You
pretty much
violated the
plan.
law.
God damn. I keep trying to ignore it, and it just keeps saying it.
I think that sums up my urban NPCs, actually, as like Oblivion NPCs that are like, hello there, good day. Well, I don't like you very much. Okay. And they're like,
Goodbye.
I was an adventurer like you till I took an arrow to the knee.
let's see here.
Looking the wrath of Sith.
I'm actually legitimately surprised you haven't used that one on us yet.
Stop yelling. You're scaring people.
One of the you start walking towards the nicer part of town on the cliffside, and you notice that the streets here are immaculate and stone paved, and everything has that kind of stucco stone ziggurat style to it, and it's towering up around. There are these monuments everywhere. Of older structures that have been kept but in their state of disrepair as a memory, but then covered in flowers. And then you hear a whimpering noise, and Bungo, something is tugging at your leg.
Bungo wakes with a jolt and looks down to see what's tugging at his leg, kind of pulling his foot towards him.
You pull your foot towards you, and you see a mangy, one-eyed dog that looks really elderly with gray hair, and it's like, and it's like trying to gum and pull on your leg as you pull it towards you, like trying to get your attention. And then it whimpers.
Yeah, Bungo reaches down and gives it a nice, good pet on the ears.
It loves it, and like. And then like leans in and like leans up against you like with a dog hug to try to get more pets.
He's petting it, and he's looking to see if there's any tags on it or anything, and looking around to see where it would come from.
It has one eye and a gray snout and gray furs. It looks very old. It looks malnourished. You don't see any tags or anything, and you're not exactly sure where it came from. It looks very hungry, and basically just keeps following you around. Bungo.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I give him a little bit of leftover food that I have in my bag. Sorry. And pour a little bit of water in a bowl. And then I say, well, fella, what's your name, and where do you come from? On the off chance that you're able to talk. Oh, okay. Not common, then. All right,
Actually, I would have been really disappointed had he not added that last part about hoping the dog could talk.
And
it was worth a shot. That'd be one of those things where, like, if it turns out the dog, Ross had planned for a dog that could talk, and I just never asked him if he could talk. Okay. Well, I got a buddy now, I guess. I'm feeding him real good. I'm gonna start brushing his hair and giving him a little bath.
All right. You can. This takes some time as Bungo stops to groom this old mangy dog. And Bungo, you can subtract a ration from your inventory. But the dog takes a liking to you and keeps following you around.
Yay!
Bungo has joined the party.
And then eventually you make it to what they call the Royal Monument, which is you can see these like statues to the former king, King Ardrith I the Scarred, and the regent, which is this strange squat bird-like man with a clockwork eye, and all these other heroes and statues that surround this plaza. And you can see a building arrayed with fat, tall pillars at the base of a big multi-tiered ziggurat. And this is the seat of the Council of Perenval. And you can see people in togas with different colored sashes, and they're entering and exiting and talking to each other in different places. And you can see some places to get food nearby. There are not many shops, and there are also not many scrappy-looking adventurers. No one took a bath. That no one said they took a bath, except the dog. And so everyone's covered in muck and insect blood and sand right now.
Oh, we don't want him to think we're lying about what we did.
Yeah. So what do? Do you go inside or you just tromp on in there? A bunch of savages.
I mean, that's my plan.
Yeah.
That's probably what they think of adventurers anyway, right? Like,
Uh,
I feel like a lot has changed having played in every era.
We have paved roads now.
That is not what I mean.
yeah. Okay, so you go inside and there's this grand, like 3-level kind of atrium style open place, and there's an active fountain, and there are these different like I don't know how to describe them, magical simulacrum of people that fly around and are like doing different tasks and carrying things from different levels, and a bunch of people in togas, and then yeah, and it's crowded in here, and there's this grand staircase on the far end, and it goes all the way up to the top, and then switches back the other way to get to the top, and making your way up to the council chamber. Where do you go? Do you want to go speak to Lady Galby Mudbelt or the counselor who did your writ of mark, Counselor Ryko? Or do you want to speak to Counselor Maddock Crew? Or who do you want to talk to? Or do you want to talk to someone else entirely? Or just get it, gather information from people? What do you want to do?
This is more of that whole, I'm going to leave that up to the rest of the party.
I mean, I'm curious if this goddess statue is really valuable. If it's enough to clear the debt with Maddock.
I'm gonna go try to talk to Maddock Crew.
I mean, I guess I do owe him. It's more like, if we go to somebody else, will he cause more trouble for us? Is my
Probably.
yeah.
All right. So you find your way. You ask, and you find your way to where Counselor Crew's chambers are, and it goes into a back chamber, and there are armed guards here, and they close the door after you enter, and they immediately start shaking you down like the guards do. You're outnumbered. These are 3 hit dice veterans, and they are basically forcing you to disarm and to take all your stuff off. And he says, well, if it isn't my most particular of employees, Rat, Bite, Ben, and Bashaw. No moniker Bashaw. Is it Bashaw the Barbarian, or Bashaw the Broken, or what should we call you, actually?
He just shrugs.
I laugh in character. And he says, I think it's strange that you've been gone so long, Bashaw. Now, the rest of you, it seems like you're in on this business, and you're business partners of my friends here. So I think that you're going to have to sit here as well.
I mean, I feel like I've probably been trying to leave from the moment they were like, we're going to disarm you and take all your stuff. I'm just like, nah, I'll come back later then.
Yeah, we'll wait outside.
Like,
Peace.
I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, okay, so you just like, you wait, and these guys go ahead. That makes sense. What about Bungo, actually?
You can come, Bungo.
Okay.
Perfect.
No,
Well, yeah,
Oh,
it's
well.
not.
it's either
not
really
Bungstay,
a
it's
really good
Bungo.
idea or a really, really bad idea. It's only going to be one of
That's
those
right.
two things with
That's an
Bungo.
interesting idea. So
You
like, sure,
require
Bungo.
strategic
What the hell?
chaos.
It's an
I'm like-
idea.
I want to.
Well,
I want to.
I'm kind of like mad at Crew. I kind of hate, but I have to deal with them. So I'm like, yeah, Bungo, you're definitely coming.
Bungos for sure.
I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong with that plan.
Remember that Bungo, you generate 3 luck points a day up to your
I do.
luck point
That's true.
maximum. So you can hand out luck points,
Yep.
and you're the only one that can, and you're the only one that generates new ones unless people are using their bad habits as adventurers, and no one else generates them, I think. But
No,
anyways,
But I also haven't used any.
yeah. So anyways,
Shouldn't have started that bad habit before I used any luck. I just realized. Okay.
so you guys start. They're shaking you down, and that's what he says. Maddox says, "So where have you been? I've missed you. I've missed our conversations. Ever since that the Counselor Ryko has taken an interest in you, I haven't heard from you."
Oh, is that his name? The other guy? Ryko?
Counselor
That's
Ryko
right.
is it's a woman. She's the
That's
one
her
who
Yeah.
has become your patron, like as far as on the council. And she signed your mark. And I think it's Shay who cheated on the mark with Bungo that got you all in this. That's how you managed to get the mark from Counselor Ryko. Anyways, yeah, what do you say in response to him saying that you basically have been
Ducking them.
untruant?
I'm actually gonna say, that's her name, right? And play off as if like I barely remember the other our main employer, because of course I'm really working for him. It's like, yeah, what's her
Yeah.
name? Ryko. Yeah, you know, I've gotta pay my dues, so to speak. But we have a deal, so I'm here to honor it.
All right. Yeah, he says, okay, and your charisma modifier is a +1?
Yep.
Okay, pretty nice. He says, and just how would we honor that deal then?
Oh, we owe you a debt, right? You paid, and I'm here to help to try pay it off. And I pull out a statue, that goddess statue.
He takes it and looks at it, and he says, this is very nice. I can see myself adding this to my collection. But
I mean,
no,
Get a cost you, right? Well, go ahead. You finish. Sorry.
Ben, I think what would be a lot better is, well, you know what they say here in Perenval. Gold is one thing, but information, that's another.
Well, can I have my statue back? Well, again, I want to give you first dibs. It's maybe worth some valuable information to some people. I don't know. It's a artifact and all. Is there something in particular in mind that you were thinking of?
I know you went in the tower. I don't know what your mark with Counselor Ryko says, but I want to know what you saw on the other side. All of it.
Oh. Saw the gods, so to speak. I hold up the statue. Yeah, I'll tell them about the. But there's gods on the other side. There's like some baby with snakes. Some guy named Gorm. Matarua. I don't know. What do you want? That seemed to be valuable information I probably shouldn't be sharing with you. I don't know if that's true or not. But I think somebody's got big plans for this info. So, doing you a real solid here.
Someone. Now, who would that be?
Oh, you think they tell me? I mean, I don't know who. I just got the impression somebody. You know, everybody here, all these political machinations, they don't want to be up front. But hey, I can read between the lines.
Well, maybe I just can't. Maybe I have trouble reading between the lines. It seemed to me like you all went through a portal in the old wizard's tower and became fabulously wealthy overnight and became exposed to powers beyond our reckoning or imagination. And it seems like you're not wanting to tell me about it. But Gorm and Madarua. This is interesting. So I'll tell you what. If you'll tell me what you know about these two gods, you can take this back. We'll have never talked. No one will know. And your debt's free.
Look over at Basha. It's like, do we thoughts?
Yeah. Shrugs and starts giving a bit of information. Yeah.
Tell them what I know. Like, followers of Gorm, followers of Matarua. They don't get along so good. Gorm's a storm god, thunder god. Matarua's got all these warrior maidens.
All right, they listen to all your stories, like who Gorm and Matarua are, and you know, the snake god versus the strong lightning god, you know, and all that stuff. And they listen to everything you talk about these gods. Maddox says, "It was a pleasure doing business with you, Ben and Basha, and whatever you are." Looks down at Bungo, and he says, I think this is just fine. This will work just great." And he hands the statue back.
I'll take that.
We didn't have this conversation.
Never happened. I'm looking around, and this is a terrible idea, but is there anything of value that it looks palmable while I'm here?
Are you gonna try to make a pickpocket check?
Maybe if there's anything. If there's anything
absolutely valuable stuff here. So,
terrible idea, but I might gotta get something out of this guy.
Here comes all of the luck.
So
this is what you're here for,
you
Bungo.
can use luck for it, and but I will say that you can use your luck and multiply it by 10 because it's a D100 check, and you have to roll under a 20.
25 now for pick.
Oh yeah, you're a level 2.
Level
2. So I'll tell you some things that you see around here. First of all, the guards have really nice weapons, like and including things like daggers, and you can see that they also have some documents that they're trying to hide. They also have jewels, so you can go with information, wealth, or martial power. And then last of all, you can try to get dirt. Like if you could kind of stumble and get documents off of the desk of Maddox, you can try to get documents from him.
Ooh. So my first thought was dagger, documents on guards, but if there's a chance for dirt, I'm really here to try and stick it to Maddox if I can. So I'm sure what could go wrong.
All right, yeah. How much luck do you want to burn?
Do I have to announce beforehand?
Bungo can give you as much as he wants, but Bungo, you get 3 luck back a day. And then you also generate a certain amount of luck if you do your bad habit. And I know we're almost out of time, and so I can see it. We're almost done here. Where is my Evening Lands? Adventurers. You get... you make a luck check every day that you're not in a dungeon, and you get +1 luck back up to your maximum each day. So like today, you'll each make a luck check. So you can... But Bashaw can't help you with this. But Bungo can give you luck.
Alright, so I want to burn. See, I got 11 luck.
You can go ahead and make your luck checks.
Yeah.
To see if you get 1 luck out of it.
So it's just a roll under d20.
Yep.
Oh, my luck check was a success.
Nice. So you get 1 luck there.
All right. I'm gonna screw it. I'm gonna do 5 total luck plus whatever Bungo will get.
Bungo, how much luck would you offer him?
Remind me how the luck. So is it similar to 5e where like luck just allows like a reroll or something like that, or?
You basically have these numeric. Like, how much luck do you have? What is your luck stat?
Pull up the sheet here. My luck stat is. I thought it was 4. I'll have to dig for it. You just explain to me how it works. Well, it's been a while since I've looked at it.
Basically, well, it's kind of complicated.
It's kind of like Monster of the Week luck, isn't it?
It's more versatile than that. But you also make checks against it. So it's like an attribute that you make checks against. So if something really dire is going on, I'll say make a luck check. And if you've burned all your luck down to 2 luck, you have to get a 1 or a 2 on a d20, right? But if otherwise, you keep however much luck on that you've rolled for your attribute for luck that you have. So let's say like Ben has 11. So he has 11 points that he can put in almost everything. Saving throws, attacks, attribute checks, skill checks. The only thing he can't put it in is stuff like gaining hit points back, spells, stuff like that. Yeah, and then you are a hobbit, so you can generate 3 luck per day because you're level 3.
So do I need to roll and burn all my luck before I know? So I can't
No, actually,
say I'm burning 5.
No, you can do it after the fact. So yeah, you can go ahead and roll if you're certain that. But if you roll, it will have happened no matter what.
Yeah, so I'm gonna roll. I'm going for it,
Okay,
but I didn't
go
know
for
if
it.
I have to just say how much luck
yeah,
I'm burning
that's a
before
good point.
or
Yeah,
not.
yeah, go ahead and roll, and then we'll see.
So I said I was going to burn 5, and if I got 1 back, that would bring me down, to essentially be at 4.
Yeah,
but if I
go ahead
don't
and
need
roll.
to, I don't want to.
Yeah, good
Low
point.
money, no whammies.
Yeah, so I need to get under a 25 out of 1d100. Ooh, scary. Come on now.
Is that 83 or 38?
That's what I'm not sure. 83, shit.
That's pretty
I'm
bad.
rolling high on the D100 today.
So
It's
if you
not-
put
not
5
liking it.
into it, you'll be at 75. So he would need to give you, Bungo, you would need to give him 1 luck. I'll roll your luck because we've never used it. So here you go. D6, D6, D6. 6, 1, 7, plus 2, you have 9 luck. So if you
Okay.
gave him, so that's how much luck you have. So if you give him 1 luck, you'll be down to 8 luck. But you'll generate,
Perfect.
All right. So that passes. All right. So you nab a bunch of documents.
So,
from
like we're
Maddock.
from the. So I don't have to stumble and like trying. I pretend I'm getting in a scuffle with one of the guards. Like, keep your hands off of me, and I stumble and kind of fall over on the desk.
Yeah,
No,
and you
palms and
managed to
stuff.
pocket some documents from Maddock, and then the guards, they push you out of the room, and Maddock just smiles like he's won. And that is where we're going to end for the night, in the chambers of the Council of Perenval, where others want to meet with you.